Folks, welcome to Instagram Live, mate. You caught me just turning on the distiller, just another day in the life, as you do. Oh, maybe I want to make sure the lid's actually on. Wow, yeah, didn't see you there, folks. Was just turning on my distiller, mate. Maybe I'll use the actual fucking. Well, what are we saying? Anyway. Yeah, just hopping on live quick time, and don't know what I'm fucking saying, just chatting some random business. Yeah, and it's semi-relevant. I was just turning on the fucking distiller, mate, and I was talking about some sense perception shit. It's like, I basically noticed that you can almost willingly, induce a psychedelic state somewhat, but with your awareness, in terms of, when you take a psychedelic, what happens? There's a book called The Doors of Perception, for example. And it seems to really, brings the background forth. If you've done a lot of psychedelics, you'll be more than familiar. I don't have to tell you. But it's like you notice way more. And you can obviously do that normally. The reason why you don't notice everything is somewhat the default mode network, which is survival. It's not particularly useful to notice, everything. So your brain kind of tunes it out. And psychedelics, they kind of deactivate the default mode network. And they let you see all that is not useful to your survival, which is, most of reality. And that's why you can have deep awakenings with psychedelics. But yeah, I almost noticed, yesterday, that you can basically do it willingly. With awareness and also with the breath, but it's tuning into the multidimensionality of everything, so to speak. But also there's a contrast with say, for example, if you're really involved in politics or political shit, or maybe political music or conscious rap or things of this nature, there are kind of programs, so to speak, within that, where if you listen to a political debate or something of that nature for a long time, that will kind of take over your sense perception, kind of. Where you kind of get locked into this language program thought stuff. Oh, one sec, sorry. And you don't really notice that you're not noticing everything. When you're thinking, you're not actually in the being world. You're more not really, you don't really see properly or feel, or you're not being, you're thinking. Just noticing the difference between awareness and then thoughts and being lost in the mind. Often we don't even know that we are thinking when we are thinking. We take our thoughts to be, we confuse our thoughts about reality for reality itself, which is kind of a deep rabbit hole. Love everyone. But yeah, basically what I'm chatting is you can almost induce a psychedelic state willingly just by noticing, I guess. And I haven't premeditated talking about this much, but it's something I kind of noticed yesterday, where it's you just have to you can tune your awareness to different channels and different levels, kind of. And I was using, for example, the contrast of being really aware in some meditative state, and being really sensitive, almost as if you were on a psychedelic, and you've kind of heightened your consciousness or awareness, contrasting that with thinking about 3D politics or something. It's very different. And what I mean about this psychedelic state that you can almost automatically induce. For example, I was on a train not long ago, and I was just on a train, not that deep. But then, willingly, I can decide to notice and bring the background forth. And, for lack of a better term, you can realise, I was sat on this train, and, you just notice more, almost as if you were a child again. And people say about psychedelics, yeah, breathwork helps, you're right, totally. You're definitely right, and I was glad you're in this chat while I'm talking about this. You ain't got to stay, obviously, but yeah, I was going to say, I did vaguely speak about the breath work, but you can also just do it with your awareness, I noticed. You're definitely right about the breath work, 100%. But it's I think it's because like I was listening to a lot of like political rap that's quite like 3D, and then like I just noticed that like it was limiting my awareness, and I could almost just like at a snap of a finger like tune it to a different level and like notice a lot more. But yeah, like with the train thing, I was just like, it was almost as if I just took a psychedelic when I was on the train, because all of a sudden I just noticed everything like I was a child, and that's the neuroplasticity that psychedelics can give you as well. And it's just like all of a sudden I noticed just how profound the train is and how complex it is as well, or like the way that it's put together and how like multidimensional it is, all of the electricity and the speakers and the lights and the track and the but like you don't normally notice that. And for those who've only just joined, like if you're familiar with the default mode network, that is like the basic survival. You know I'm big on the psychedelics, but yeah, and I can't even talk to people who ain't gone deep with the psychedelics, like, and that happens to most people who do them. I'm very interested in everyone who's really... And I don't know why, I'm slacking on a lot of people. I've just started listening to Mufree today, a lot of his album. For some reason, M. Cole, I've still been slacking on your stuff. But I don't want to do that, because with these... Are you coming to the CRC camp out, M. Cole? I don't think I've seen you on there, actually. But I'll imagine I'll meet you again in the future. And I want to be like... Because like, people's experience with me is also their experience with the festival. So I don't want to be... I want to make sure, like, there's no reason for me to sleep on people. Like, I love conscious music, conscious rap, and this information revolution wave. But I have been, like, sleeping on some people. I think this because there's so many people, I just haven't really got the capacity. And, like, I got survival challenges as well. But I'm diving more into, like, the conscious rapper community, which is, like, they're my tribe and my life purpose anyway. So I don't know why I've been sleeping on a lot of the people who are featured. I listen to a lot of conscious rap, but I've been listening to a lot of the American stuff more, somewhat. Anyway, I'm just saying, I'm working through who I've been sleeping on, so I don't know why I haven't really delved into your music that deep, man, but I've been pretty dealing with a lot of shit anyway, so alright, fair play. Yeah, CRC for life. I don't know why I ain't delved into your shit anyway. It'll only take a second. I'll do it. Next time you chat to me, I'll do it. I can't even talk to people who haven't gone deep on psychedelics. That's true. I think it's actually almost a physical thing, like, because the shrooms can rewire your brain. And when I woke up with the psychedelics, I couldn't talk to anybody anymore, really. And it was actually, like, weird as fuck. And I could only really speak to people who had also gone off the deep end with the shrooms. Like... And it was almost, I don't know if that's because we have like psilocybin brain or what the fuck is up with that, but like I really can't, because like when you do the psychedelics properly, you will re-meet your whole identity and your whole body and awareness from the ground up. It's like it will reinvent your whole consciousness like completely from the ground up. And some people just won't ever get that. Like, I can't talk to my dad without him just going, like, he keeps putting it in a box with fucking cocaine. It's not the fucking same thing. Fuck me. Sending love. Yeah, I'm glad you're in here. I'll get to our chat again. I can't remember your name, but Tantric Creation. Eleanor? I can't remember. It's good to see you here anyway, but big love, everyone. Big love. But yeah, the default mode network is basically what your brain is in most of the time, which is like a survival, like perception where you tune out everything that doesn't serve your survival. Especially if survival gets very challenging, you can understand how you are going to have to use like all of your bandwidth and capacity to survive. Like, if you need food or if you're like on the run or something, it's like you don't have the bandwidth to notice like the geometry of the trees when you're on the fucking run. And that's what the default mode network is. And we, like, most of our lives, it's almost like a self-deception through survival. And so you tune out the background because the background don't move. So you don't need to perceive it because it's not relevant to you getting from A to B in your survival challenge. And I think like being in a very deep survival challenge, I think is a way that God can put itself asleep. because like you're in a real situation, so you better get serious. And like, I don't know, it's like a self-deception thing. I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, the psychedelics, they basically deactivate the default mode network, and I think it brings the background forth, because if you were to always notice the background, it would be like it wouldn't really be very practical to your survival. Like I said, when you're on the run, you're not trying to notice like every little detail ever. Shrooms rewired me, and DMT saved me, but they are not to be abused. They're a gift and a natural medicine. Yeah, facts. That was my error. I might have abused them a lot, and now I'm like come out the other end of that, and I'm like, shit. I don't know. It was like, but the thing is, like, what I experienced was such like, I don't know how many people have gone that deep with it, and how much of it was real, or what the fuck happened, but like, it's like a complete collapse of everything that you thought was real, like, completely, where it's like you actually have no idea, like, if you're in a dream, or what the fuck is going on, where like you literally like meet pure synchronicity and God, like, beyond the veil. And like, it can be very hard to come back from that. Like, the biggest, not that it's about dose, but I would do like a lot of breath work, a lot of grounding, a lot of the diet stuff, a lot of the research. The biggest dose I ever took was 12 dried grams of Liberty Cap psilocybin magic mushrooms. I've had about like probably 150 heroic doses in the span of like 2 years. And yeah, I was immature with them. And I'm probably a prime example of, it was almost like I confused the mushrooms' intelligence for my own intelligence. And like once they already took me away, I didn't really know. It's difficult, because I had really bad trips at the beginning, and I think they were traumatizing. It's a knowing you can't explain, or you could say is, if you know, you know. Yeah, I get that. Like, someone asked someone, they're like, do you believe in God? And he's like, believe? I know. Like, he knows it, I don't know. Anyway, bit of a strange rant here today, but yeah, I was just saying, you can almost do it willingly. You don't need a psychedelic to open the doors of perception, so to speak. I don't know how like useful this is, but it's a very weird thing, because even human beings, and like, because I was walking around on the street and I was like playing with this sense perception shit. When I was like, it was an insight, to be honest, where like, I literally was walking down, I had a zoot yesterday, and I was walking downtown, and I was like, when I noticed that you can almost do it willingly, I was like, what? I like literally said to myself out loud, I was like, there's like a whole nother layer that you don't even notice is there. But like, yeah, it's when you notice it's there, you can go there. And it's like a whole nother layer of reality. And it might be relevant to topics like ego death, as well as like, say, the thinking mind. We don't know that we're thinking often if you have a low state of consciousness. And like, when you realize that you no longer have to think, or you can get that space between your thoughts, it's like you see a whole nother layer. Ram Dass talks about this. He's like, it's when you start to realize that things are not at all the way that you thought they were, or things like that. It's been great, bro. Keep up the good work. I'm gonna have to go, but yeah, Sam, man, I appreciate your interactions in the chat, man. I wouldn't be the same without people leaving the comments. But yeah, big up. I'm definitely going to delve deep into your music, like, in a second. I don't know, I haven't already. But cheers, man, for tuning in. Yeah, don't know. And at the start, I was doing the fucking water distiller, which could be relevant, like, because M. Colt was talking about the breathwork helping with the opening the doors of perception, and obviously psychedelics do that, and the breath is a psychedelic. Peace, bro. And then obviously we got the fucking water distiller, and if you're drinking fucking tap water, bro, like, you got like chlorine and fluoride in there, and fluoride is like, do your own research, but like, I mean, the bag, like, if you get like a bag of fluoride, it's got like red triangles and skulls and exclamation marks all over it saying like, don't let this touch your skin. and they put it in our drinking water. So there you go. But yeah, it's meant to calcify your pineal gland, where it turns like a segment of your brain that's referred to as the third eye into stone, basically. And I think that's probably done on purpose. But yeah, so the doors of perception can be opened with changing your diet. You can smell the chlorine in your tap water. Yeah, fact. Same here, man. It's awful around here. This area's terrible. Even the NPCs don't drink it, man. And I heard about talking to a customer when I was at a job, and his dog started drinking from the plant pots, from the flowers, and they never ever drank from the tap ever again after they discovered that in the garden. So yeah, it's interesting. So not only can your survival situation limit your perception and consciousness, but also the diet. So it's cool how God kind of plays with itself like this. It's like, oh, what if they're spraying heavy metals in the sky that you're breathing in that are going to alter your perception? It's like, when you're like, everything is drugs and it's all like infinite consciousness, and it's like, I don't know. Because like, say for example, like the fake food, yeah? Like, that's probably that's vegan. I mean, no, organic, but still just like, just sugar. That's like, this is, I don't eat this shit, but this is all garbage, right? That's obviously Matrix program, Archon program, Matrix. So, if you're like forced to eat Matrix shit, depending on like if you're in poverty or whatever the fuck, it's interesting how like through that, like God can almost put itself to sleep. Because like, if the New World Order is a sensory deprivation operation, well, that's convenient for like God to infinitely self-deceive itself into like, I don't know exactly what's real. I can't get some of these ideas out of my mind, so watch out for the Cognito Hazard catalogue, because it might make you lose the plot, mate. So don't delve too deep into the stuff I share unless you want to lose your mind. And once you cross the event horizon of the black hole, you can't come back. And that was the goal, but you might regret it once you do it. Anywho, sorry, I'm getting a bit incoherent. So yeah, fuck knows, mate. Sense perception. Are you rendering the external world through a brain? Are you taking in data, and then like whether or not the brain is on mushrooms or not is gonna alter how you intake information from the outside? Or is the whole thing just projected from the inside like a dream? Are you dreaming? Is there such thing as an external world? It's like, oh, you take a drug and that changes your brain, therefore it changes how your brain processes the external information. But what is external? And how do I know that I didn't just dream that I took a drug? Because I've also dreamt that I've taken LSD, and I looked into the mirror and my pupils turned to hexagons, and I had a trip like in the dream. And then I woke up and I was like, that didn't happen, that was just a dream. Right. Well, how do I know that I'm not still dreaming? Like, how do I know that I didn't... So I dreamt that I took a psychedelic, and then I woke up and I was like, shit, that was just a dream. But how can I ever be confident that I didn't just dream that I woke up from the dream? You see? I don't know. How practical is this sort of stuff? What is practicality anyway? Where are you gonna go? Practical where? In the third dimension? You gotta watch out, because psychedelics might paralyze you if you do them hella too much ultra fast mega loads. Paralyze you in terms of like, you awaken to the fact that you are in the center of an infinite paradox for eternity, or something like that. And I don't know if you can ever leave the center. So I think it can like deconstruct the illusory future that you believe you're moving towards. Like, I don't know, fam. Anyway, sorry, I'm just chatting so much shit right now. I don't know, like, how much of the God consciousness shit is kind of because I've like had deep psychedelic awakenings, but like I don't know how much of these ideas were like from the internet, and how like because I got convinced of very many like absolute truths at one point, and I can't get them out of my fucking brain. And like this is the thing about the cognitohazard stuff. Like if you see my profile picture with that eye in the triangle, that symbol basically represents something somewhat that my life has somewhat been defined by, is these ideas that can radically change your life forever. Like when you learn, like if you learn about psychedelics, that is obviously like the most profound information potentially, because a lot of people have no idea about psychedelics, and psychedelics can save your fucking life. Or if you learn that there's fluoride in the tap water, for example, that can also like save your life. So it's like this information revolution shit of like, I have no idea who I would be if I didn't encounter life-changing information. So it's like become like my job to almost compile. Like, and it's very interesting because it's get this right. So me, like I like the personal development and the self-actualization stuff and that kind of holistic spirituality path and that. And I would really like to like progress in the physical world instead of just being in digital hypnosis like this, in my isolation echo chamber of contemplation, right? In my chamber of reflection. Right. So, as much as I would like to progress in the real physical world and stuff, get this, is that you can actually change your whole experience of reality simply with one idea, really, or contagious ideas, or cognitohazards, or info hazards, or memetic hazards, which is spelt meme-tic hazards, like meme as in memes, like information on the internet, yeah, like a little, like, you know, memes, right? A meme can change your perception forever. I can present an idea to you. I don't know what the limits of this are and how much of it is just we need to escape from the cognitive realm, and how much, because I've been kind of trapped in the cognitive realm-ish for months on and off, and I think there's limits to this, but like, what I mean is, I would almost seek these kind of cognitohazards because I was aware that, judging by my past, that I could encounter ideas, information, and once I encounter it, it can transform my whole identity and my whole survival strategy and my whole perception and my thoughts and my ideas and that. Where it's like these mind viruses that are like floating around in the fucking, what do you call that? There's like a cognitive realm, which is information, thoughts, data on the phones. And in this kind of astral plane, there's like ideas that survive. And this is known as memetics. Not only can you survive genetics, but you can survive memetics. And these are ideas that seek to preserve themselves. And that's what I'm here to do, is to preserve these ideas, so that if I reincarnate, I can watch this video and transfer the memetic, the genetic memetic, to my new vessel, and I can take in the cognitohazard, and then I can install the mind virus that I am trying to survive. And they get in you, and they root in your mind, because some of them you can't get out, like solipsism. How it's like, you can be absolutely sure that you can never prove you can be absolutely sure that you will never be sure if you are alone. Like, you cannot validate anything outside of your own bubble of experience, so to speak. And when you grasp these, they can like reinvent your mind. And there's loads of these. There's endless of these ideas. And it's like I'm trying to like compile a list. I call it the cognitohazard catalog. But see, I don't know. Where was I going with this originally? Why did I bring it up originally? Don't know, I didn't mean to just rant about this. Don't know, mate. I've already made a lot of videos about this anyway, it's evolving. Yo! I don't know if I recognise your name, to be honest. Oh, shit. I definitely recognise you. Can't remember where from, to be honest. We saying my G. I might come off here in a minute, to be fair. I was just ranting about a lot of random shit. But yeah, even everything that I said from the beginning of this talk still fits the definition of cognito hazard, info hazard, memetic hazard. Because if you don't know about psychedelics, you're never going to do them, let alone do them properly. Or if you don't know about the different levels that you can tune your awareness, then you ain't going to do it, somewhat. Where, like, even get this, it's quite paradoxical, and this is why I like these ideas, is because, like, somewhat, imagine this, right? The idea to stop thinking, it begins with an idea. It might be the last idea you ever have if you're not careful. Somewhat, where it's like, or maybe that's a good thing. But it's like, even if you... Like, imagine if we discovered the limits of the cognito hazards and these thought form stuffs. And these contagious ideas. Like, even, like, if I could articulate what the limits are of cognito hazards, that in and of itself is a cognito hazard. Or an info hazard. Oh, shit! You coming to, yes, to the CRC camp out? Yeah. I'll check your account after, because I do definitely recognise you. I don't know why I can't. Oh, it's not, I can't remember. I don't know. But yeah, I'll see you there, man. Well, I'm trying my best anyway. I'm kind of struggling at the minute, I can't lie. But it'd help if I got this digital hypnosis shit and these attachments, mate, in the phantom grid. Don't know. Anywho, I'm probably going to go anyway. I was just chatting some random business. Yes, that's cool, man. Well done. Sick. Oh shit. It's yeah. I think I know who you are. Yeah, it's Dan. Yeah. With the nails at the festival, at least. Yeah, I think it is. I don't know if it's you because I followed you recently. I think it's you. Don't know. It won't let me see here anyway. I'm gonna go anyway because I've chat my business, mate. But yeah, shout out to the CRC Campo on the 2nd of August, mate. What are you saying with the Sounds of Avalon? The Shroom Sanctuary? Are they involved, are they? Oh, it's gone now anyway. Anywho, I'm gonna go. But yeah, watch the fuck out, cause, don't know, mate, there's just bare archons and demons and fucking angels, mate. Watch out for these contagious ideas, bruv. But yeah, no, that's what I was saying. Is like, based on my past experience, I am aware that I can seek out the, like, because what happens in the way that it's gone in the past many times is I discover some information or some ideas or some articulation or some thought form or something, whether it's on the internet or in a book or if I have the thought myself. A lot of this cognito hazard stuff I kind of thought of myself in a way. I built off of a lot of stuff that already exists, but I've definitely kind of reinvented the whole... Because people don't talk about it in awakening context. They talk about it in some weird... Like, memetics is the study of the transfer of ideas, basically. But yeah, what I'm saying is, yeah, so in my past experience, I have encountered a lot of this information, and then when I encounter it, it basically completely transforms my mind from the ground up, and my perception of reality, and my whole, like, survival strategy, and, the way that I move through the world and how I identify, what I see, how I can think, etc. And like the reason why I identify with the symbol now is because I have no idea who I would be if it wasn't for these information hazard, cognito hazard. And to call them hazards is not really the right thing. It's more memetics. Because when they're hazards, it's like, yeah, they're potentially like life-saving ideas that can change your life. Or even potentially dangerous ideas that can save your life. There's many different ways to articulate it. There are dangerous ones, like even solipsism can be paradoxically kind of a dangerous insight or thought. It's quite paradoxical as well, though. I don't think it's black and white. There's a lot of multi-dimensions to solipsism. Or for example, in schools, sometimes these challenges get spread around, like self-harming becomes like a fucking trend. Shit like that, all these challenges where you just like suffocate yourself until you collapse, and apparently that's a challenge. And these ideas spread through the minds of the schools like a virus, you see. This is what I mean by mind viruses, and they're very real. And I don't know if they are actually what they are, like what the fuck actually are, because they can survive for millions of years, and people can find value in surviving them. Like, you can actually devote your whole life purpose to surviving certain memetics or ideas. And then, even if you reincarnate and discover the same memetic, or like if I found this video from a separate incarnation, and I was watching myself like through another body, from behind a different pair of eyes, which brings us back to the solipsism stuff, but then I could hear this information and like take it on board, and I could almost like transfer my kind of identity through the mind, and then continue the mission in a new incarnation, if I resonate with the idea, I guess. But anyway, what I'm saying, my phone's going to die. It's a strategy where once I've got used to this cognito hazard memetic stuff, you can learn to keep your eyes peeled for like-minded stuff, and even actively seek it out. And that's why I'm creating the Cognito Hazard Catalogue. And you can research cognito hazards on the internet, for example. And if any of them click in a profound way, they can and will. Often you don't have a choice. They integrate into the mind, and then you are reborn in a way. So what I'm saying is, you can progress drastically. Not in the 3D illusion, but in your spirit, kind of. Well, I don't want to call it an illusion, but in your spirit, where like, for me, I took a mushroom trip a long time ago, yeah, and I had this radical insight where I was like, imagine if I could talk to my younger self, if he was in front of me now. And what I recognise is that even though I might not have like loads of money and loads of fruits like that, the internal transformation is absolutely undescribable. Where like, I might have not have transformed my environment drastically, and like even my financial or living circumstance, but like my mind has like reinvented itself like a million times, and like that's quite profound to me. Like how you can grow like almost invisibly. Like you can grow internally and not externally. And I really recognised that about myself on this mushroom trip about a year ago or something. It's like how much, and everyone, especially if like the conscious rapper community joined the chat, and like anyone who's like-minded to that community, or any of the rappers, they will know that as well. Like especially if you dabble in like awakening or philosophical stuff, or even maybe like psychedelics, meditation. Like imagine if you could speak to your younger self, and like actually like one-on-one, like 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Because like, I mean, it's a natural thing. Obviously when you're a kid and you're a baby, you're just a baby, so obviously you're gonna have a drastic internal transformation, but like that stops for a lot of people at a certain age. And I think like the psychedelic neuroplasticity can continue that. And yeah, I was just speaking like I would like to get a lot more fruits in the physical 3D world, 100%, but you can almost progress not in the world in an odd kind of way, and that's definitely can be a trap. I think, of a trap of being overly cognitive. And obviously you can progress in the digital world as well, but what I mean is, I was talking, for those who just joined, about the memetics and the cognito hazards and the info hazards, about you can encounter information that can reinvent your whole mind and identity from the ground up, and you can choose to seek out this type of information, and you end up becoming a very astral kind of person, where it's like, yeah, you no longer are like genetic survival, you're more memetic survival. It's a weird thing. Don't know. But yeah, you gotta be careful. Because a lot of like... I wouldn't have stopped here if I didn't like... Because I did like loads of psychedelics and then I kind of like ran out of them. And now I'm kind of broke a bit in terms of finances. I ain't done like many deep shroom trips recently. And it's crazy how you can feel like every time I take a drastic, like a decent dose trip, like it will really like radically open the doors of perception, at least temporarily. And not that you inherently need psychedelics, like I said, you can open the doors of perception without psychedelics, and it's about learning to do that. This is the process, and I mean, maybe that's a good sign that I've been learning to do that, clearly, through what I've been speaking about here today. But yeah, it's just so profound to me, and like the reason why I kept doing psychedelics is because like every time I would do them, it would like reinvent reality. Well, I guess you could reinvent reality with the cognito hazards as well. But yeah, it's almost like if you run out of psychedelics, things can almost grind to a halt. If you are used to taking the psychedelic in order to induce change, which is definitely not like the best way to be, it can be a trap and a limit. But it's interesting how like Terence McKenna speaks of psychedelics as a fuel. Like, we know the fuel now. Like, and it does take you, like you take the psychedelic and it will take you on a trip. But how? How does it just thrust you forward like that? Into expanded perception and information. And yeah, it's really profound actually how, because like a single dose of shrooms can completely change and save your whole fucking life. And that is so radical and powerful to me. Like, just the fact that that's even possible, I know it's possible, because I've experienced it countless times. Like, even on a physical level, it's an activation. And, I think there's a reason why psychedelics are suppressed to an extent to limit people, to be honest. Look at all these wonder drugs that they deprive the public. Ooh. I know the medical mafia must love it. Reggae music save we life. Ain't ever done psychedelics. Fair play. Fair play, fair play. Maybe you don't know what you're missing if you've never done them. Good to see you anyway, bro. Are you coming to the CRC camp out or not? You got me thinking about this sound system actually, because some of my friends have got sound system. Might have to hit them up. Be good to meet you anyway, man. I'm probably gonna go anyway because I've been on here for a while. Progressing in the digital world rather than the physical. Mr. Memetic, mate. You know me. Alright, see you later anyway, I'm gonna go. Rewind this if you want hella wisdom. The lift? Are you coming to the festival, are you? CRC camp out? Look at all these wonder drugs that they deprive the public. I would play a tune. Sometimes I like playing a tune on my way out, but I think Instagram won't actually let me do that. Cause it's hella garbage. Hella garbage. Oh, I'm going anyway. See you later. Love you all. Bye. Alright, yeah, if van driver grabs us. Alright, yeah, I get you. Alright, yeah, I'll message you, man. I'll message you. Ash said he will. Who's that? Alchemist Ash. I might need a bit of help getting there as well. I'm not sure, to be honest. We'll see. Peace. Yeah, I'll message you, man. Safe. So, hashtag OXSN. Bless. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Big love.